known Honorable Mao the longest. From his student days, I was a little ahead of him. I presided over the Guild presidential elections that he followed as a presidential candidate. I had left Makerere when he was running. I went back to support his rival, the late Nobu Mayombo. And when he defeated us, we went away sulking, but we accepted his leadership of the students. Since that time, we have remained very close with the Nobert here. We visit each other's homes. We frequently have lunches and dinners together. And so the position I have taken vis-a-vis his bid, I called it a gambit.
Yes, with a lot of hostility in your text.
I was only reminding those who didn't know him. Because I saw my friend walking towards a ditch, and I did not want him to fall into that ditch, because we shall not be able to recover him, or it will be very difficult. Secondly, I am NRM. As you know, we're the founders of the NRM party. I was the first spokesperson of that party for close to 15 years, before Bodombo was recently brought in 2017. I know the NRM workings like the back of my hands. I can guess President Museveni as our chairman of the party, because I've worked with him very closely. The last 14 years I've been the government spokesperson and head of media center, so I know quite a bit how NRM works. And I thought, as a minister in the government, if he chose to come, although there's no law binding, if he chose to come, he needed to be subtle, quiet, not going on media and saying he had had consultation with very many people. Because
and he wants to balance the vote.
No, I'm coming there. He could easily be misunderstood. And you know what happened? I want to mention just 4 names. Honorable Dr. Paulo Kawanga Semogere, 1996. He chose to go by himself. He was the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Public Service. We all know how his political career ended. Let's come to the most recent, how the Honorable Amama Mbabazi ended. How about Aunt Becca Alitwara Kadaga? So I didn't want my brother to go, and I chose to use the public media to address him and the people who may be egging him up. And also I was speaking facts. If you have 6 members of parliament, Honorable Mao he has been accused by his own members, some of whom defected and founded other political groupings. I'm glad you have brought the Honorable Matthias Mpuga Nsamba. They accused him, and there's evidence. He literally drove DP, he has literally drove a DP to a ditch. Can imagine DP 1954, started with about 20 members of parliament, now 6. 6 of those members of parliament, I can challenge you if you can mention 3. The ones who have 1, if you can mention 3. Or if Ugandans, or people who are in the media can mention just 3 of them, the ones who have 1 on the DP ticket in this election for members of parliament. So with that, I don't see his journey as a speaker.
Yeah, but
especially
I expected you to be fraternal, given that background. He's been your friend. You visited each other. Look at your choice.
I chose to answer him through the media so that many of his allies, who, by the way, happen to be our allies too, people who are friends to Honorable Mao are my friends too. So I thought I should address him through that public media. But also, because he himself, first of all, media he has used should be the same platform I should use. And there is no hard feeling between me and him, I do believe. Like he does confess every day.
Did you come off as a skeptic?
No.
Or?
I was simply dicing his ambition that this is the wrong way to go. Knowing very well what NRM had decided in 2016. And you saw, and that by the many people don't know this. In that sake, the person who said, let us give speakers, deputy speakers, if they have performed well, 2 terms, was the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga. You remember when late Jacob Olanya was deputy and came to challenge her. In fact, Olanya had brought heat on Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga. And it is Kadaga who said, you members of SEC, you allowed the secondary to do 10 years. Why don't you also allow me do 10 years? And in that sake, everybody's shoulders collapsed because they were not remembering that secondary had done a deputy, had done 10 years as a speaker. And they said, okay, this will resolve. Olanya had vowed not even to contest as a deputy because of the bad working relationship they had had. You remember at one time Olanya had been driven back to Gulu. He said, let me go back to Gulu, I will not come back to Parliament because of the sour relationship they were having. Olanya was persuaded to come back for the second time as Honorable Rebecca Kadaga's deputy. Now, knowing how the hard-headedness, Honorable Kadaga later made a U-turn and said, no, I am going to run. In spite of the agreement we had had in the SEC and in the caucus in 2016. And you saw how she ended. As when Munyonyo, you remember the caucus of NRM, the new parliamentary members of parliament elect in Munyonyo, the Right Honorable Kadaga was in Hotel Africana, launching her bid, 3rd bid for speakership. And what flew under the bridge in that contest, I don't have to repeat it here. You saw how the president himself, the chairman of the NRM, went to sit to count with his eyes. I think he was using his eyes, he would see from how the vote was going, and he confessed this anyway. So I did not want my brother Mao to go into a race in futility. With today's endorsement, forwarding the endorsement to with the incoming caucus, and let me make this very clear, this forwarding is to the incoming caucus. The existing caucus of the NRM of the 11th Parliament cannot consider these two names, let alone voting for them. It is going to be the incoming caucus. With that done,
is it done yet?
The forwarding. The forwarding.
No, okay, the forwarding has
been done.
Does it suggest that it's now done and sealed?
Tell me which proposal the NRM, backed by the chairman and the president, have been taken to Parliament and have failed. Tell me one. Tell me one. So that you think this can fail or can even stagger. I am now, as an MP elect, I'm a member of all MPs elect who have platforms. I'm also a member of the NRM MPs elect, what is going to be the caucus. And I am privy to the discourse in those 2 platforms.
Has it been rejected at the onset?
I can tell you that in our platforms, particularly of the NRM has 369 MPs about there. I have seen only one person who has rejected the status quo. Is a lady. I've also seen one man from our area of Bukedi there, only one. But for him, he hasn't rejected. He's only skeptical.
Well, thank you. I need to bring in...
And so I think with that knowledge, that information, I'm pretty sure that maintenance of the status quo, regardless of the virtues that Honorable Mao says he wants to bring, I don't think that those are going to be considered in this vote.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mao, you went in there proclaiming that you want to balance the boat. Has your boat rocked? And how much of a blow is it to you now that SEC has sealed the fate of Anita Mong and Thomas Taiwo?
I want to thank the newly elected MP for the elderly representing Eastern Region. I really miss the days when elders were fountains of wisdom.
Isn't that below the belt?
Because I saw him acting like a choir master for elected MPs from Bukedi. And now he's saying they don't want to campaign. That was the real campaign they are talking about. I believe in one principle. In order to be respected, you first have to respect yourself. I am hoping that the members of the 12th Parliament respect themselves enough to make decisions in the best interest of the country. The only question before them is whether Parliament needs fixing and whether changing the leadership of Parliament can contribute towards fixing Parliament. I have stated numerous times that this is not about me. You actually don't need to keep me in the equation because the problems will persist.
Now you're out.
I think I have already said it is not about me. I am not a member of the NRM, and that is a deliberate choice. The NRM national chairman approached me in 2021 and invited me to join the cabinet. I accepted, and we held talks, and we agreed on a document. Now, I believe that when people make commitments, they should be true to those commitments. There is a total difference between the current situation and the cooperation agreement we have with the cooperation that my illustrious predecessor, Dr. Semo Gerere, had with the NRM. For one, they called theirs a gentleman's agreement. It was never reduced into writing. Ours is in writing. It is a framework. It even has a provision of introducing any topic. And our proposal was simple, that what does it hurt the NRM and Uganda if a candidate from a partner political party is also considered among those who could lead the parliament? If the NRM does not agree, it is within their right to say so.
Yeah, but by the look of things, this letter clearly indicates that you have been rejected and the positions have been ring-fenced.
I can only be rejected by the Electoral College, which is the 12th Parliament. This is a letter which I believe must have been on the President's desk for several days while the President mulled over it. I really don't want to dwell too much on it, but there are lots of contradictions surrounding the debate inside the NRM. And I think I'm better off leaving it to the members of the NRM to debate as to whether the NRM is following its own rules. It is not up to me. After all, the NRM says that one of their core principles is patriotism, meaning you put the country first, and secondly, democracy. That means if you say you are going to have an election, you have equal opportunity for members. So if Nobert Mao is an unpalatable candidate for the NRM, then what about these other members? Uganda is bigger than all of us.
I just want to read for you. I just want to read you Resolution 11. To reiterate resolution number 12 of the 7th meeting of the 5th SEC meeting, to the effect that in line with precedents, the names of the incumbent Speaker, Right Honorable Anita Among, and Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Thomas Taiba, shall be forwarded to the NRM Parliamentary Caucus for their adoption as candidates of the party on the floor of Parliament. Any issues that arise shall be addressed on merit. Does it give you a window of hope?
My hope is in the members of Parliament who represent citizens who voted for them.
Does it still make sense for you to trudge on after this?
It makes a lot of sense because Parliament needs fixing. You know, you can live in denial, somewhat like Uganda Airlines. We pretended that there was nothing wrong with Uganda Airlines. We insisted on keeping the leadership of Uganda Airlines. Until now, eventually, there had to be change. And guess who has been brought to fix things? An Ethiopian. So I may be similar to that Ethiopian from DP to come and fix this parliament the way a total foreigner is coming to fix Uganda Airlines. And why should we kill ourselves over one position? I liked the way the Honorable O.O. alluded to history. Now, in his view, I should worry more about my political fate, my fate of Nobert Mao. I'm not actually worried about what will happen to me politically. I'm worried about what will happen to Parliament and Uganda. Previously, there was once a position of Chief of Staff during Obote II. They fought over that one position and it brought down a government. So why would Ugandans want to fracture the efforts at uniting the country over the position of Speaker? I am simply saying you can bash Mao in all the languages. You can invite all the choirs from all corners of Uganda and denounce Mao. But what I'm speaking is the truth. Parliament needs fixing.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Wakida, for lack of a better word, you belong to the choir. You've come out openly to endorse Right Honorable Anita Among prematurely and in contravention of the rules of procedure that bar open campaigning. I mean, now that SEC has made a resolution, what's your take?
Thank you, Simon, and thank you, everybody here. Let me first put this to the listeners and the watchers. Mao is one of my best friends in this country.
You wouldn't betray him that way?
No, I haven't betrayed him. Mao is the one who bought a ticket when I was 17 and a half years for me to leave this country. He's the one who introduced me to the politics of opposition in 1996. I want everybody to know that I do not have any negative feelings around the person of Mao. We are friends. I've been to his home. We talk as and when we are supposed to talk. Anita Among is one of those people who I'm proud to say that I nurtured into politics. And so is Taewa in the opposition FDC. So I have both these guys as my friend.
And you're conflicted.
On your left, this gentleman here has seen me grow into politics under the IPFC in 1996. So I want everybody to know that I have no problem with whoever I'm going to support in this case. But I belong to the national resistance movement.
As a newcomer.
As a newcomer. In the past, I conflicted, had exchanges with my friend. Everybody knows this. But you see, reality in life is the most important thing that you have to follow. And I want to tell you the characteristics of a speaker I am looking for. One who is a stronger leadership. One who is going to be impartial in taking decisions. One who can communicate properly. And one with effective knowledge of Parliament and how it works. And I have no doubt that both these guys, Honorable Nobert Mao and Honorable Anita Mong, have all this. But you see, we are in a politics called politics of competition, where you have different parties fighting to get power. Power is never given on a silver plate. Power is fought for. I do not see the party called NRM getting this very senior position and delivering it to the Democratic Party.
No, there is a marriage. There is
I can tell you that marriage.
Do you wish away the partnership?
Wait a minute. I said realistically, Mao is a DP. Counted in Parliament, he can never be counted as a member of Parliament of NRM. He can never attend the caucus where OO and myself will
But
be.
he's in an NRM cabinet.
I can tell you,
he's in cabinet.
He is DP.
Yes, but he attends cabinet.
We are talking about caucus. Decisions of Parliament are not taken in Parliament, I mean in cabinet.
Have you addressed yourself to the cooperation agreement? I thought it gives him a bit
I
of
even
latitude.
don't want to discuss that.
Why?
Because I was not party to it. I am discussing the reality of today. That in a parliament of about 500 or so members of parliament, with about 400 members of parliament subscribing to NRM, it will be a dead dream for you to come from FDC, even with a cooperation agreement or DP, and assume that an NRM member of parliament elected from Kabila Bong or elected from wherever, that is going to wake up and understand that what you call the cooperation agreement.
Okay. This is what I find very awkward and selfish of you.
No.
When Mao is in cabinet, then you're comfortable.
You see,
when he eyes the third position.
When you go to the party, on a wedding party, and you're invited, and you are given a cake, it doesn't make you a groom or a bride.
Okay.
You are actually an invited guest. And you must abide by the rules where you've been seated and you agree to get the cake which you've been given. You don't serve yourself.
Was Mao just being overzealous?
Yes.
Who tells Simon Kagwanjana
yes.
that because we are members of NRM are silent when Honorable Mao and Anita Mong are in the cabinet, that they are happy? Who tells you?
I don't.
How many of those members of parliament are privy to the agreement?
Yes, exactly.
Third,
now,
the cabinet is chosen by the president, yes. One person. You can't ask him why unless parliament has stopped somebody. So that's his thing, for the president. So, Speaker of Parliament is for members of Parliament.
I want to come to this. Tell me what's has gone back to the scores of 1996, which was 70.4%. She has. Now, do you think that the party, the likes of OO, the likes of all those people in the villages there who have come to parliament, are not seeing that? What I want to advise my brother is that please keep in the seat with your cake, which was given to you.
Don't become a groom.
Eat and wash your hands and leave the function, and everybody will say Mao was very smart on that party. because you are never going to be a groom or a bride.
Thank you. Honorable Mpuga, how much comic relief are you watching as NRM now, NRM and BP seem to be in a very interesting fight?
Well, first of all, I listened with classroom attentiveness to because he moved with the notes. Of course, I'll miss the banter of the in the house.
I will miss you too.
Because I know when he speaks, with his uncanny tendencies of wanting to rub people the wrong way, you heard him threatening the Honorable Mao, how they'll take out the plate, and he suffers the fate of those others that came before him. That is vintage but you see, all said and done, and I listened to my senior brother, Honorable Mao, speak about fixing parliament. And I'm like, well, that's big. He wants to fix the roof without a foundation. You're going to put a roof and you have a fractured foundation. When he joined in, I am one of the people who was here disturbing most of the time. One of Mao, you said you're going in to fix things. Can we fix the things as quickly as feasible so that we can build from there? I think, unfortunately, he was never given opportunity to fix things, and he was not kind enough to return to us and say things are not working the way I thought. And now, when you talk about equal opportunity, OO wants to go and instead lead the Equal Opportunities Commission, probably, but not Parliament. He's relegating you to say, maybe you're talking about the Equal Opportunities Commission, not Parliament, as offering equal opportunity. Issue is, you have Parliament, you have the issues that make Parliament, and you'd never have uniform parliaments. Every parliament in one particular way differs from the other. And I look at the next parliament as one that will be particularly different because of the manner in which it's been constituted. Of course, you have the OOs. When I had OO elected, I was like, wow, has the East run out of elders? I said, well, congratulations to my friend. But, so, I mean, that's banter.
He merited it.
Of course, I know he merited, he's senior. The point is, this is a different parliament, and the issues for this parliament must necessarily be different. What the Honorable Mao talks about is a classical Mao of DP. The mistake he's making is believing that he will fix the roof with a broken foundation. And I hesitate to say that the threats issued out by OO are not personal to OO. They are rehearsed. You need to be strong to withstand the intimidation and say, well, this is what I believe in. You may not win it because you have all the disadvantages in our nature of politics. You remember our conversation, Honorable Mao, when we were discussing the issue of reforms. And I told you, Parliament constituted in the manner we are of winner takes all. That's why he's telling you that they have the numbers, they'll do what they want.
Yeah.
How I wish we had PR as a form of constituting Parliament. Proportional representation. You would have had a chance. But this is winner takes all. The Honorable Wakida has reminded you and all and sundry, this is our thing. You're only a guest at the party. So partake of the
Rounds.
if you find icing sugar, you know, the beef is for the children of the house. Partake of that. You are considered orphaned, and therefore someone is throwing an old cloth at the orphan.
So is he biting more than he can chew?
Necessarily not because he's not able. And this is the thing. The Honorable Mao, an old acquaintance, we have had our fair share of run-ins, but we understand each other this long. The Right Honorable Anita Mong, we've been around each other through the FDCs with the Honorable Akida here. I understand her deeply and her motivations. This is not Mao's fight. Probably Mao chose the right fight with the wrong tool or stick. And the stick he chose could easily break and hit your eye. That's my word about the fight. You probably could have reconsidered. Part of the problem is that even the opposition itself is as broken as the system. And therefore, you are holding on to broken pieces to make a whole, which is going to be very problematic.
Yeah, but remember, Honorable Mao is making a case based on the cooperation agreement that gives him latitude to make proposals.
I am not.
He's testing the waters.
I am not grounded enough to speak about it. I have not read a single sentence out of it. It's unfair for me to use that basis to judge him. What must obtain probably out of his candidature is a conversation that he ought to have started while within. I don't want to believe that he was given an overflowing plate and he forgot what he had gone for, which is to push the system to do away with the politics of alienating groups, sections of society, for those who have everything and say, this is our thing. You cannot have your thing for 40 years and you think that somebody is strong enough not to push away the table and break the plates. Mao is trying to break to push the table with the food, the plates, and the wash waters and whatever goes with it. They are reminding him that they are strong enough to protect it. I want to invite my senior brother to return to the drawing board. Some of us have enough time to buttress the issues we have discussed with our elders hitherto on the nature of parliament, the form of government. This is still the NRM out of the bush, Honorable Mao. It's only time that has lapsed. Same people, same convictions. When they invite you and you accept, it's not that they believe in you. It's not that they do not know your quality. You are participating in the wrong chess game. You are playing somebody's games, not your game. That's my problem with it.
Honorable Mao, before I bring you in, I want to invite our viewers to be part of the conversation. We are seeking your opinion on the president's letter that endorses Anita Mong and Thomas Taiba for the position of Speaker and Deputy Speaker, respectively. Join the discussion on all our social media platforms, and we'll be glad to read out your views. Honorable Mao, you've had the 2 cents from the entire panel. Is the reality setting in that perhaps you are just overambitious?
Actually, those who are always talking about realities will never change the world. If the NRA had accepted the reality, in reality, can you take on a government with 27 guns? In reality. Wherever I've been, I've gone against reality. O told you about my story in Makerere. I was the most unrealistic candidate. In 96, I took and sought to become a member of parliament against all odds. So, you can give all the lectures you want about reality.
To the extent of describing me as a guest.
But I am holding aloft a banner which gives Ugandans hope that this is their country. Now, of course, those whose politics is around eating and so on will always say, you know, you're a visitor, sit under the table. If we think
Eat
about
icing sugar. Meat is reserved for children.
if eat the soup, once we are tired of eating the meat, you'll pick some. I have had all those lectures, but that's even very un-African. All of you who grew up in African homes know that it is very customary for children and even members of the home to be told to leave their beds for the visitor. Visitors are actually very important. I don't know what sort of Africans you people are. You are savages, you people. In fact, sometimes your friends are more reliable than your relatives. Most of the problems of the NRM have actually come from within NRM. The biggest problem the NRM has faced. Now, we have this cooperation agreement. It can be rubbished, but there it is. It stands as a witness. We are not the ones who are denying it. In '96, it was our leader, Dr. Semogerere, who walked away from the partnership with NRM. This time it looks like it is the NRM which is walking away, and that will send a message to those you are trying to attract.
Yeah, but the speakership, there is no clause on speakership.
No, what I'm saying, that what would it cost the NRM to say, look, we put Mao on our short list? Because there's no visitor. So I'm glad you are calling me a visitor. At least you have not called me a trespasser. A visitor means you have been welcomed and even been offered a seat in cabinet. I'm not a trespasser. Now, you are actually insulting the chairman of the NRM as the chief gatekeeper. If he says, Honorable Wakida, go and welcome that visitor. He's the head of the homestead. Now you are trying to lecture him and say, you made a big mistake. This man is having ambitions.
To walk into the master bedroom.
I want a decision. I think it would make sense to say, we have considered your request. And I told you that I have written to the national chairman of the NRM. And I have also written, and I'm going to send a letter to all the members of the 12th Parliament about what I think are the important issues. The members of Parliament should be free to vote the person who they think can best lead the Parliament of Uganda. So I am also one of the elected members of Parliament. Now you are talking as if, you know, Nobert Mao is looking for crumbs at all costs. I never applied to be a minister. I have served faithfully, probably more faithfully than many of those who are carrying the cards of the NRM. And the issues I'm raising, like balancing the boat, are real issues. The issues I'm raising, like restoring public trust in the institution of Parliament, are real issues. The issues I'm raising about accountability, for God's sake, fix those issues.
Thank you.
I will be a happy man.
Thank you. From the onset, this thing called cooperation agreement has been problematic. When Mao raised the issues of reforms, he was thrown under the bus. He was disowned. Now here he is saying, we are testing the cooperation agreement.
No,
how irritating is it?
We who have been with Honorable Mao for quite a while, like Honorable Matthias, this is a vintage Mao. Let's go that cooperation agreement. Do you have it?
Well, I have snippets of it, but he was cagey. He said,
I am not privy.
What leaked is close to what they say.
No, I am not privy to any fora where the chairman and the secretary general of NRM have tabled, caused discussion and convergence on the contents of the cooperation agreement. And therefore, I want to believe if me, a former spokesperson of government, and NRM for many years, not 2 years, not 3 decades, is not privy. How about the younger members of parliament, majority of whom are coming into mainstream politics for the first time? They will see what Honorable Akida said, what Anita has brought, especially recently to them. Because in this election, in this campaign, Anita virtually went to every district where she would come 2 hours ahead of the presidential candidate Museveni and holds arms of those flag bearers and introduces them, not just to their constituency, but the whole district and the world. Do you think those flag bearers who have made it, or even independents who have made it, won't consider that?
Are you wishing away the cooperation agreement?
I don't know the existence of that cooperation agreement. Mao is a good friend of mine, but because NRM is going to have a candidate, has candidates, there's no way I can vote for him or support him. 2, let's go to fixing. Honorable Mao currently is the President General of DP. How much fixing has he done there? For us, the rest of the country, to believe that he means what he is saying and he can accomplish what he's saying.
Thank you.
Listen.
We'll take a very short break, and when we return, we'll still be examining the dynamics of the speakership race and how it is defining the current politics post-election. We'll be back.
NBS Frontline.
When the news moves, you move with it on AfroMobile. Get real-time updates and the moment they unfold. Choose from over 80 live TV and radio channels and follow current affairs your way on the platforms you rely on the road, in the office, in the middle of your work, or out and about. AfroMobile keeps the story going with you. Download AfroMobile today and stay connected to every update as it happens.
At Fins Medical University, we offer online postgraduate diploma in medical education, Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery (MBCHB), Bachelor of Pharmacy, Bachelor of Medical Laboratory Technology, among others, Diploma in Clinical Medicine and Community Health, Diploma in Medical Laboratory Technology, among others, and certificate programs. Fins Medical University, a chartered medical university in East Africa, and is located in Fort Portal. Apply now for the March or July-August intakes. Visit our offices or apply online on our website or contact us for details. Fins Medical University, saving lives, our passion.
Get us to the tips. Protect your digital money from phishing scams. Be cautious of suspicious emails or texts asking you to click on links. Instead, visit the official website directly to ensure you're accessing a secure platform. In partnership with Uganda Communications Commission and NBS. In a world powered by energy, one story is driving the future forward. From innovation and infrastructure to the determination behind every milestone, Texol is redefining how a nation moves. This is more than fuel. It's vision, it's resilience, it's progress in motion. Go behind the scenes of a journey built on precision, purpose and possibility, where every step fuels tomorrow. Texo Energies, powering progress, fueling the future. Don't miss this special documentary, airing 6th and 13th of March at 8:45 p.m. on NBS television.
Rights, justice, and action for all women and girls, focusing on accelerating gender equality and justice. This Women's Day, we celebrate the incredible women of Uganda who are breaking barriers and inspiring change. Their resilience and determination remind us that empowerment is power. Join our special live coverage and thought-provoking TV programs as we highlight powerful stories and real conversations on the issues that matter most to women. Book your slot now and be part of the movement. Let's accelerate gender equality and build a more inclusive future together. Contact us on 076 100 1890 to reserve your slot.
The voice. Do you have the vibe?
Are you ready to be heard? Are you ready to be seen?
Are you the next big voice? This is your moment. This is your spotlight. And this is your chance to step into the next media family.
You're searching for somebody bold, somebody electric, somebody energetic, passionate, and unapologetically confident. We are looking for you.
Here's all you need to do. Upload a 30-second video of yourself performing the skit. Bring the energy, bring the personality, and bring you. Post it on social media and tag Next Radio UG using the hashtag The Next Big Voice.
Your voice could be the next big thing on air.
Are you ready?
106.1 Next Radio. In a digital world, not everything is what it seems. False stories today spread faster than truth, leaving us all wondering what's real. Disinformation misleads, misinformation misguides, and
being speaker?
Well, he won't be because NRM considers that the Speaker of the 12th Parliament and other parliaments are critical positions that we fought in the campaign to retain power to retain the institutions of power, and there is just no way. But
the Ministry of Justice is equally sensitive.
Well, you have heard the president saying, even if you sleep in the cabinet there, don't you see ministers who don't talk for different reasons? But they are ministers. They are honorable members of the cabinet. That's not what I want for a speaker. So, okay. I was coming.
Does Parliament deserve a better speaker?
No, I was coming. I said, one other reason that I wouldn't give Mao, because I have his record, and I have given here. I said, Honorable Mao has DP. How much fixing? Are you happy that DP, the oldest party, is unable to win elections? Are you happy that DP cannot hold any other person to account? Because DP has failed. You know, the wrangles that have been going on in DP, is that the speaker you want? Where his party is full of wrangles, day in, day out.
Is Mao's competence under question?
No. I think the leadership style could be a problem. Currently, Mao is the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, right? Mm-hmm. I heard Honorable Mao saying one of the things he wants to fix is abuse of resources. Is making the Speaker and Parliament as an institution independent and strong and is a counterweight, particularly to an overboard executive. That's what he is saying. He says he wants to remove the garrison, he uses this word, the security garrison around Parliament. Let's go and examine the Ministry of Justice where he is. If you check all the studies of the last 20 years or so, judiciary tops abuse of resources, case backlogs. Has he fixed it? Has he brought a proposal to fix it? It is where human rights, all of us have been crying about abuse of human rights. Has he fixed them? So that we can base on that performance to say now, since you cleaned the plate in justice, we can now give you Parliament. So when Honorable Mao says he wants to come and fix what is a miss in Parliament, is what the Waganda would say, Okowudisa.
Honorable Mao, if you could come in here. I think you've opened yourself a Pandora box and you're getting too many punches.
No, OO is a campaign manager for one of the candidates.
But that's no problem.
And he must earn his dues.
No, Honorable Mao, instead of convincing me, you're now accusing me.
Earning it on live TV, which is the best way.
Yeah, but we need to unpack the things that he says.
No.
If you have failed to fix DP,
let me tell you, all the bishops, archbishops, the Pope would have to resign because you would say, all the sinners, have they stopped sinning? You know, that is the most nonsensical argument I've ever had on live TV. You would not even have voted for the president. You would say, is every Ugandan now rich? You said Bonaba Gagawale. Are they all now rich? You said Bonaba Some. How many uneducated people are there? That is very cheap reasoning. What we are talking about is whether we can, in good faith, have a country that can come together and accept that, look, we are turning a sharp corner in Uganda, and rather than pushing away people who want to work with you, in fact, you are now betraying the philosophy of the president of Uganda. In Kenya, the Speaker of Parliament doesn't belong to the president's party.
Well, that is Kenya, not Uganda.
No, because we have got to use examples that are relevant. I do believe very strongly that we must debate this issue based on the interests of the country. Because remember, the voting for the Speaker is one day. We are going